assaults against the charges levied against him. Well, good afternoon. Many thanks for joining us here at K24 Newscast. We've compiled for you that and much more in our broadcast this afternoon. But first, let's get to see what's making headlines at this hour. The National Assembly holds sittings to debate the impeachment motion against Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua.
So as this process goes on, we send a message of peace. We don't have to fight over such.
The clergy now calls for political tolerance in the wake of the impeachment motion against the Deputy President. The High Court begins hearing of the case challenging the impeachment of Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza. Welcome to the program. My name is Bentura Kombok and our sign language interpreter this hour will be Walter Asewe. And the National Assembly is currently holding sittings to debate the motion to impeach Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And now we are joined live by our parliamentary reporter Joel Cheche, who's currently there. Good afternoon, Cheche. What are the latest developments on the impeachment motion against the DP?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Bentura Komboka, and live from Parliament Building. And having, of course, the day having, of course, a scorching sun, just allow me first of all to engage the members of Parliament before getting into the details. I have a member of Parliament from Nyanza region, from the Western region, and from the Mountain region, and quickly to engage Honorable Shakil Shabil, who is the member of Parliament Kisumu East. Thank you so much for getting time. On the impeachment motion that is before the House, you're debating it today. Where do you stand?
It's a historic moment. It's the first time we're going to impeachment of a deputy president. I was in the Constitution Review from 1999. One of the reasons we tried to entrench the deputy president in a manner it is there is so that the institute of the presidency would be split between two, and that previously the vice president could be even fired on the roadside. So we put this thing together. However, there was also the issue of somebody going rogue, and we wanted to cover that issue. Today, the impeachment of the deputy president has raised certain issues, and the platform of Chapter 6. I'm the chairman of the African Parliamentarians Against Corruption, and I will keep speaking about it. Our integrity, our transparency, our good governance, the way we behave ourselves is all in Chapter 6. So if Chapter 6 is being utilized to identify the wrongs and the transgressions of the deputy president, it's a good start, but should not stop here. Those who have thrown the stone they may not be without sin, but the time is now. We are starting with the deputy president. Then we want to talk about the same issues with others. I mean, we have the ministers who are going around with 20 million shilling watches, etc., etc. And what we have done about them, the fact there are many people whose wealth has increased 20 times in the 2 years. So let us not identify just one person. We say, yes, there's one person, but there are another 15 there.
So in your opinion, Gachagua should be impeached or not, with 11 grounds that are before the House?
Well, you see, we as a parliament are going through a parliamentary process and a political process. The legal process will be done by the Senate. So my personal opinion is, let us hear whatever he has to say this afternoon and this evening. We heard what he had to say yesterday, and I shall make my decision thereafter. But we do not want to go part of a mob. We not need to be part of a mob without thinking. I will think as a member of parliament and we will decide. But the member with the public participation in Kisumu, we had 1,500 people doing that, and I saw some of the forms. And in Nyanza, there were nearly 600 or 500 forms saying that he should not be impeached. So I think there's a reason we have to listen to our constituents as well, but I shall make a decision towards the end of this process, not now.
Thank you. That's Honorable Shakil Shabir, Kisumu East Member of Parliament. Also, I'm joined by P.K. Salasia, Member of Parliament, Mumias East. Thank you so much for getting time this afternoon. Gachagwa's impeachment motion is on the floor today. You conducted a public participation in your constituency. What was the response? And also, which direction, as far as this whole matter is concerned?
First, we didn't participate in the public participation because there was no need, because as things were, there were more urgent issues to address than just going to talk about the issue to do with the removal of the Deputy President from the office. Maybe what I will just say is that from what is being discussed in the House, it is all about the emotions. It's about the emotion because you realize that majority of the people, they are now talking and discussing about how he acquired the family property of the late the brother. But there's no any complaint from any individual or maybe family member who has come out openly and say that indeed it's true that this person acquired these properties fraudulently, because now there's no complaint. So I don't see the need of discussing such kind. And I think if there is, we'll be voting, maybe we should be voting on the basis of each clause, so that on each account, so that we see if there are those accounts that I don't even see the essence of discussing them, because they're not making sense. And they're just being not on the basis, because you also now need to hear, because as we persecute him, he also now needs to get from the family members to come and confirm, yes, indeed, whatever is being said is true. I think that is where I'll just say.
What is the mood of the House? What are MPs saying? Of course, especially for those who have still not taken the mic. What are they saying? Should Gachagua go, or even both of them should go? Even as the Kenyans who participated during the public participation, some of they said anguka na wote.
I think the moods of the members of Parliament, the majority of them, they have their own position they have made, and I think the general view from majority of them, they will vote yes to his impeachment. But also I'll also ask the Senate also to, if it goes through successfully, as to their wish, that Senate now to come up and listen. But now what is more important is, let us see, as he comes at 5 in the evening to be interviewed or to bring his side of the story, we'll see whether the members of Parliament will change their minds or not.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Honorable Peter Salasia. He's the Mumias East Member of Parliament. Also, earlier on, I spoke to the Kisumu East Member of Parliament. Honorable Duncan Mathenge is the Nyeri Town Member of Parliament. Unfortunately, has not been able to create time for this interview, despite having Bentura, that is the position from the members of Parliament who are participating in this impeachment session. And in the afternoon session, we expect each member of Parliament, especially the 291 MPs who appended their signatures, to keep contributing to the motion, each being given 5 minutes. But even as that is ongoing, just to paint for you the picture outside here, that is outside the Parliament buildings, you can see, of course, security vehicles, police vehicles are manning the area, and the road, actually, that is the Parliament road, has temporarily been closed to pave way for the sessions to be ongoing. Of course, there were concerns when the motion was tabled, and there were calls for the Inspector General to beef up security, especially in these particular premises, that is the Parliament buildings, even as what is considered being considered a historic moment for the country, where the impeachment motion of the Deputy President is before the National Assembly, today being the last day for this particular motion to be considered. So we expect that all the efforts will be channeled towards ensuring that Parliament does away with this particular matter. That basically means that by midnight, of midnight, the decision will have been made whether Rigathi Gachagua will be impeached at the National Assembly level, or the motion will be thrown out. Early in the morning, we saw the move of the motion, that is Mwangi Mutuse, of course, presenting his case on the 11 grounds that he seeks to oust the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua with, and the move, of course, was seconded by a member of Parliament for, that is Kilifi North, is also the majority whip in the National Assembly, Owen Baya, and members began contributing to the motion. It was actually what appeared there. They started with the legal minds, that is, of course, from the minority and the majority side, where from the minority side, Otiende Amollo spoke into the matter and said that those who are calling for, the head of state and his deputy to be impeached, or both of them actually to go home, it's not proper this time, considering there could be a power vacuum. However, that is not clear, considering if at all that happens, the Speaker of the National Assembly can still take over until fresh elections are conducted. But on the other side, the majority side, especially their legal minds, with the chair of the JLAC committee, that is George Murugara, having said that it is important for the deputy president, who they believe has gone against or actually has violated the constitution, should be impeached. And now I can see here Honorable Gathoni Mushomba. Mheshimiwa, just speak to us in a minute, kindly. We are live on K24, and just to engage her, she's the good member of Parliament who was created time. Thank you so much, and sorry for the ambush. Yeah, the motion is here. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, they say he should go. The other time you threatened that if they bring such a motion, you'll also bring a motion seeking to oust the president, that is William Ruto. What's happening?
First of all, deal with what we are dealing with today. Yeah, focus. Leo tuna debate na unaona vile maneno inaendelea huku. Nimeanza kuteta mimi ya kwamba wale ambao wana dissent the motion, wale wanakataa hiyo motion, hatupati nafasi kuongea huku kwa bunge. Tumegojea since 9 o'clock, now it is 1 o'clock. Only one person has spoken against the motion, and there are very many members who are dissenting, but the speaker seems to be very biased. Na mimi nimemwambia tukirudi 2:30 kama watu ambao wana dissent kama mimi hawatapata nafasi ya kuongea, tutaleta makelele, kwa sababu haiwezekani kuwa bunge ni kama imeenda. Yani hata wale ambao wana dissent motion hawapati nafasi ya kuongea. Kwa hivyo sasa mimi naenda kukula ugali nirudi 2 o'clock.
So you believe so far there's no fairness?
There's no fairness kwa sababu hata zile media clips ambazo wamecheza hazina ile process ya authentication, ile ya kuauthorize ya kwamba such a clip from this media gadget should be aired on a judicial, quasi-judicial process like a parliamentary proceeding. Kwa hivyo you can't just go and get a media clip from wherever, you air it, you don't know who made it, you don't know whether it was altered, you don't know whether there is AI in it. So na wanaendelea tu kuweka videos kama hizo bila authentication. Kwa hivyo tunaona hii ni process ambayo it was already predetermined. The speaker is already impartial and he does not want to listen to the dissenting voices. So tunarudi afternoon.
The move of the motion has actually substantiated the allegations, the 11 grounds for Gachagua's removal. Are you satisfied that they actually can make the deputy president Rigathi Gachagua be removed as in his position?
I have raised 2 pertinent point of orders. One of the point of order I raised is whether a member is right to just say there is a mentality of the deputy president to eat. How do you measure mentality of an individual? Those are allegations. What they are doing here, they're just wasting time waiting for 5 o'clock to see whether members will come so that they can vote yes or no. Hii debate unaona hapa ni watu wanapoteza wakati. There is no way you can go and rise on the floor of the house and claim that a deputy president has a mentality. How did you conclude that somebody has a mentality? So that is what is happening here, and like I told you, Parliament is already a predetermined process. This was a process that was already decided by some quarters. This is just a procedure.
Finally, there are security issues where Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah said that you are dealing with a black man with a black hat, and security today has been beefed up. What did he mean with those words?
It's very unfortunate that a black man can accuse another black man to have a black hat. It is also unfortunate that a black man with a black hat can accuse another man to have a black hat, because he himself, Kimani Ichung'wah, is a man with a very, very, very black hat. but he can now stand and accuse another person to be having a black hat.
Have you received any threats?
How can a majority leader rise on the floor of the house to call another black man like himself? You know, those are utterances that have been used by the whites against the blacks. I mean, sisi tunajidharau sisi ambao ni weusi, na hiyo ni matamshi ambayo inatumika na wazungu kudharau watu weusi, alafu mtu mweusi anachukua hiyo madharau anawekelea mtu mwingine. You know, it is such a circus. Security leo iko juu sana, and I'm happy that we are safe. I am happy that the country is calm, and hizo allegations za Kimani Ichung'wah, tukimaliza hii mjadala tutarudia yake, atuambie how did he know that people have black hats, how did he ascertain that deputy president has a black hat, and what is the level of blackness if there is a black hat, because I think that was a very heavy statement that need to be substantiated.
On the public participation, Kenyans' views, do you feel they have been incorporated? Was it the feel of the ground that Gachagua should go?
I mean, from where I come from, public participation was such a sham. I mean, how do you remove a fact sheet that is already having allegations that were not substantiated? Whatever was written there, Rigathi Gachagua ameiba hii, Rigathi Gachagua amefanya hii, hatukuwa tumempatia nafasi akuje bunge kwanza, atuambie kama ni ukweli, alafu tuchape hayo makaratasi tupelekee wananchi. So that to me, the public participation fact sheets, the sheets that they used to distribute during public participation, was already a sham and an procedural and an irregular process, because you can't accuse somebody and go and accuse that person in the public gallery without giving that person an opportunity first to clarify. And the only way Rigathi Gachagua should have clarified is to come and appear in the National Assembly and explain himself like he's coming at 5 o'clock. So that public participation should have been done after Gachagua's appearance in Parliament. The reason why they rushed to make sure that he does not appear so that they do a public participation with only the allegation was a process that was already predetermined to make sure that Gachagua looks guilty, and that to me is mob justice.
Finally,
given Gachagua the opportunity to explain himself in the parliamentary plencits. We have not given Gachagua the opportunity to participate in the process. We are only doing mob justice against Rigathi Gachagua.
Finally, he has been castigated for addressing the media yesterday.
Ameamua inataka kufukuza Rigathi Gachagua. Tunawakumbusha, hata saa hii nimewakumbusha ya kwamba Wakenya wengi waliandika kwa makaratasi wakasema hawataki Rigathi Gachagua aende nyumbani. Kwa hivyo hiyo itakuwa process ya wambunge, lakini tutapatana kule mashinani.
He has been castigated for speaking to the media yesterday. What do you have to say about that?
No, Rigathi Gachagua has a right according to the constitution to defend himself to the public gallery, and he used his own resources to go to the media and explain himself. I mean, if anybody has a problem with that, then they should go to the media and tell them what they know.
Thank you so much.
Also, in their own capacity, has a right to get information from Rigathi Gachagua as the deputy president, as a person of interest, a man of interest in this subject, and explain them himself. So I think he was right, and he should continue telling Wakenya ukweli. And by the way, I was very happy when Rigathi was speaking, because he mentioned Adani. He mentioned extrajudicial killings. He mentioned abductions. He mentioned evictions. He mentioned a finance bill, the flawed finance bill of 2023 and 2024. Those are issues Gachagua, the truthful man, has spoken. And Kenya should celebrate Rigathi Gachagua. Even if he's a man under siege, he has told Kenyans something. And Kenya should start thinking about what Rigathi Gachagua has spoken about.
Thank you, and have a nice lunch. Well, that is the Nguri Member of Parliament, Honorable Gathoni Mushomba, who has just spoken to us about the whole issue of the removal of the Deputy President from office. What we've also witnessed is that Wiper member of that is the Wiper Party members of Parliament have rejected the removal of the Deputy President. However, as you've clearly heard from Gathoni Mushomba, is that those who are opposed to the removal of the Deputy President are not being given a fair opportunity to also make their case on the floor. But of course, Bentura, we are right here. We'll keep bringing you live and more updates from the Parliament buildings as far as this impeachment motion is concerned. Already I saw the podium of the Deputy President being brought here, meaning at the stroke by 5 p.m. That is 5 p.m. today to 7 p.m. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua will be here to shed more lights on the 11 grounds for his removal, even as later on the Parliament or the members of Parliament will vote either to impeach or not to impeach the Deputy President. Back to you in studio, Bentura.
Well, thank you, Checha. Definitely, we will be getting back to you on that impeachment motion. And at this point, we take a break here at K24 Newscast. We have more news for you after this break. Stay tuned.
Have you watched K20?